another Dear Piggy Python tutorial. So excited to have you back with us today, and we are going to be working with Python sets. Now, Python sets are something that are very similar to lists, but very different in the same way. I really want to emphasize to you that lists are ordered and indexed, which means that there is a specific order in which the items in your list show up, and each item has an index, right? But in this case, for sets, they are unordered and unindexed, which means that there's no index, there's no guarantee to what order the items are going to come in. So you have no indexes or keys. That's the biggest difference between sets and lists. In this first part, we are going to be working on creating our set and seeing how the values change every time you print it out. Then we are going to be working on accessing them using a for loop, which we learned about in our previous tutorials. So over here in our second part, we are going to be working on adding items to our set. And this is going to be a little bit different because there's no guarantee as to where you add our items. So this is where the add function comes in. So if we add an item to the set, you don't know where it's going to show up. It could be first, second, last, middle, it doesn't matter. And update means that you can add multiple items to the set. So first, let's come over here and go to a new tab, go to repl.it, our in-browser IDE, click the blue Start Coding button in the top right-hand corner or in the middle, and create your REPL. I've gotten really good at saying that, guys. Okay, so another big difference between sets and lists, I don't know if you've noticed, but we use curly braces. Right? So we've gotten used to using brackets in lists, but sets we need to use curly braces. So we give our set a name. We can say fruits. And instead of using brackets, we use curly braces, which is basically you do shift and then the brackets. And so we're going to still put everything in quotation marks. So we can say apples, bananas, and then cherries, and then kiwi. Alrighty, so this is our fruits set. And even though apples comes first, kiwi comes last, with banana and cherries in between, when we print it out, it'll change every single time because remember, sets are unordered. So we can print out fruits, and the first time we run it, we get apples, cherries, bananas, kiwis. The second time we run it, we get apples, kiwi, bananas, cherries. See, the order is always changing because sets do not have a specific order. We run it one more time, we get kiwi, cherries, apples, bananas. So whatever shows up actually is not going to ever, well, sometimes. It's not, usually not ever going to be in the same order that you write it. So that is the biggest difference that we see here. Now, how we access these is we cannot access them using an index or a key because they don't have one. There's no such thing as item 1, item 2, or index 0, index 1. That just doesn't exist for sets, something I want to drill into your head. So how we would do that is we would use our for loop, and we learned about this. You can take a look at it in our previous tutorial. We'd say for, and then we give a name, a variable for the instance that we're going to create. For fruit in fruits, print fruit. So what this is saying is take every item in your set, take it as an instance called fruit, and print it back out. So we run and we get this. For now, let's comment this out. We get bananas, cherries, kiwis, apples, cherries, bananas, kiwi. Now if we run it again, we get kiwi, cherries, bananas, apples. We run it again, apples, cherries, bananas, kiwi, which is every single time it's changing. We don't know what the exact order is. So for the first part of sets, we learned about how to create a set, which is the same as a list except you use curly braces, you use quotation marks for each item, and you use commas to separate each item. You access them using a for loop because sets are unordered and unindexed. Next part we're going to be working on adding items to our set. So let's see here. If we want to add another fruit, we could say we can uncomment this for now. Add a blank print line because I want an extra space there. But then I'm going to say fruits.add because this is our function. And then in quotation marks inside of the parentheses, we give it a specific value to add. We add an element to our set. So what's another fruit, guys? Strawberries. So now if we run our code, it should give us what it looks like as a set and what it looks like in our for loop, but the order is always changing. We see strawberries, apples, kiwi, bananas, cherries, and then same thing down here. We run it again. We get cherries, bananas, kiwi, apples, strawberries. So again, we added strawberries to our set, but our order is still always changing around. Next part is updates. Say we want to add more than one fruit to our set. We would use the update function. Now, let's take a quick look at our picture over here because it looks kind of different here. Even though we use curly braces to create our set, if we're updating our set, we need to use brackets. So over here, after we added strawberries, fruits.update. Now we put our parentheses, but if we want to add more, we would put brackets again. This is saying we're going to add more than one item to our set. And in quotation marks still, we would say oranges, blueberries. What's another fruit? I'm blanking on fruits right now. Dragon fruit. All right, so if we run this now, we see blueberries, dragon fruit, apples, oranges, bananas, strawberry, kiwi, cherries. And we see the order is mixed up. We run it again. Order is still different, but this time, remember, we've added dragon fruit, blueberries, and oranges, right? So I want to kind of bring to your attention that when you're updating your list, which means you're adding more than one item to your set, you kind of format it in the same way that lists are. So in our parentheses here, we're basically putting in a mini list. So some people get so confused about this. When we're creating our set, we use curly braces. When we are updating our set, putting in new items, we would kind of format it the way we would do for a list. So let's do one final review. Sets are different from lists in the fact that they are unordered and unindexed, which means that when we print it, there's no order and everything can go around randomly. There are no indexes or keys. You can access them using a for loop. When you use the add function, you're adding one item to the set. When you're using the update function, you're adding multiple items to the set. So that was our sets video for today. We have one more talking about dictionaries, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.